Welcome back to our teaching series. My name is Dr. Ucheya Hanotu, an educational psychologist. So today we are going to discuss how to use reinforcement to teach your special needs child. Every human being is born with the innate desire to be appreciated for what he has done well. Even God likes thankfulness. So your child's special needs child is not different. And this craving is termed reinforcement in psychological language. Reinforcement is the act of encouraging a particular behavior which increases the likelihood of a repetition of that behavior. In simple terms, reinforcement is the act of doing something that increases the likelihood of a behavior to be repeated. So, what is the importance of reinforcement? For your special child to learn a behavior and continue to do it, he has to be encouraged how to repeat that behavior. Without encouragement, he will not repeat the skill and thus he will not master that behavior. So there are different types of reinforcement. We have the physical reinforcement, we have the verbal reinforcement, we have negative reinforcement, and we have positive reinforcement. Verbal reinforcement are those words of encouragement which you give to your child. Words like good job, well done, keep it up. Those are words of encouragement that makes a child to repeat that behavior. Physical behavior includes actions and activities like give me high five, clap for yourself, jump, jump. Some children like jumping, so you give you when they do something, I tell them, oh yeah, jump, 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 and they love jumping. Some like food. That's a place where you give them, okay, you have done this, I take this as a reward. That's physical reinforcement. Then we have positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is when you give the child what he desires as a reward for performing a particular behavior which you asked him to. So, for example, you told the child to come and he comes, you tell him, I take this for coming, and of course, it has to be what he desires. All right. The negative behavior is the withholding or the denial of a desired behavior. For instance, a child loves biscuits and he really wants that biscuit, but because you told him to do something and he did not do it, you tell him, because you did not do this, I will not give you the biscuit. So that's a withdrawal of a desire. All right. So when you are giving a quick tip here, okay, when you are giving a child a negative reinforcement, your no has to come with an angry face so that the child will understand that you are disapproving of that behavior. For some children that crave verbal reinforcement like good job or likes to see that approval on your face, when they do something, they look at your face to know if you are happy. And when they see you are happy, it makes them to continue doing it and they do it. So it's a reinforcement. Negative, so positive reinforcement is used to teach a new skill, while negative reinforcement is used to maintain that skill you have taught. For instance, you have taught a child that when he wants something, he should ask. So when you're teaching David, David, you want biscuit, or you ask, do like this, and he does it, you give him that biscuit, or you say, hi, good job. He does it again, you give him the biscuit. That's a positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement comes in when you know the child has learned how to ask, but because he lacks the patience or he's just being naughty, he wants to drag the item from you. So when you tell him to ask and he doesn't ask and he wants to drag it, a negative reinforcement in the form of no, 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 stop it comes in. So you tell him no, that's a negative reinforcement. Stop it, that's a negative reinforcement. You are trying to maintain a new skill you have taught, which is to ask for something. All right. So when you are saying no to the child, let your no show on your face, because we have found out that these children are very intelligent. So when you are telling them no and you are smiling, no, you are petting them, no, don't do that, baby, don't do that, and you're smiling, they are looking at your face and you are smiling and saying no. They will be smiling and doing that wrong thing you don't want them to do. So they'll be smiling and still going. You're telling David, come here. And he's smiling and going because he's looking at your face. But when you tell him, David, stop, come here, you see he will drop everything he's doing and come. So when you are reinforcing, make sure you are doing the negative with a negative face and the positive with a positive face. So that's by the way. So how do you select a reinforcement for your child? The more familiar you are with your child, the better you will know what your child wants. Some children love the verbal appreciation, while some children like food, anything food. So whatever goes well with your child is okay. Secondly, different rewards go for different times. Your child might be craving for a hug in the morning and maybe demanding for a snack in the afternoon. So whatever it is he needs at that time, give it to him. Use it to teach him. Okay. Another technique is to anticipate what your child will need in the next 1 hour or 2 hours and prepare a teaching around that period. For instance, if your child loves juice after lunch, you can, after he has taken the lunch, you can now use that opportunity for his juice to teach him, give me, or to teach him the word juice. So after food, you just call the child, David, do you want juice? Of course, you know he wants juice. He craves it. That's what reward is, giving the child what he desires. Okay, so you know he wants juice. So you now tell him, say juice. And he says juice, you give it to him. Say juice, you say juice, and you give it to him. So because he wants that juice, he is willing to do whatever you want him to do at that time. Another tip I'll give here is give your reward little, little. With the juice example, if he wants juice and he says the word juice, give him a sip and tell him, David, say juice. Juice, you give him a sip. Say juice, you give him a sip. So the idea is to increase the trials, the number of times he says the word so that it will stick. If he says juice and you give him the whole bottle and he gulps it down, he'll drop it for you and run off. So you have missed a period of teaching. So because of course because he has taken the juice, I tell him, David, come and say juice. He's no more interested. He has gotten the whole reward. So that's a tip. How do you do these reinforcements? The first step is to identify the skill you want to teach, identify the reward you want to give it to, do you want to give it with, and then know the setting where you will teach it. For instance, you want to teach a child waving as a form of greeting. You have to know when you want to teach it. So you could say in the mornings. So you wake up David in the mornings, you take him around the family members. Meanwhile, you have taught the family members what to do when David waves at them. So you take, say, David, say, Daddy, good morning. So David waves good morning to daddy, and the daddy gives the reward, whether it's a hug, whether it's a high five, whether it's a snack, whatever you know you have chosen as a reward. So he goes to the next family member, David, say good wave good morning. He does it, that family member gives him the reward like that. So he repeats it. So when you do this this morning, tomorrow morning, next tomorrow morning, repetition is key, as we said. So at a point, you have to start fading the prompt, whereby you tell David, say good morning, wave good morning rather, and he will do it, and you now withhold or delay the high five. So with time, with practice, it will become automatic. You'll learn to say, when you just say wave bye or wave good morning, he will wave it and not expect reward again. By the time he reaches that stage of not expecting reward, he has mastered the behavior. All right. So, in summary, reinforcement is any act that encourages repetition of a behavior. Repetition is of a behavior leads to the mastery of that behavior. So a mastery could take 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, depending on the skill, depending on the child. Number three, reinforcement could be verbal, it could be physical, or a combination of both. Fourthly, select a reinforcer that works per time for your child. Worked in the morning, might not work in the afternoon, depending on the mood of the child. Also, he might be wanting water today, tomorrow he's wanting granola. And finally, start big with a reinforcer. Give it big, give it immediately, then gradually reduce it until the behavior is mastered. So I hope you gained a lot from this. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section and we will happily answer and guide you to helping your child succeed. God bless.